Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi, and welcome back to another spiritual message. Today's spiritual message is this is your restoration season. Listen, I've been sitting on this message for a couple of months, bruh. And all of the pieces just finally came together. They're saying all that you lack or all that you lost will be abundant in your life now. We've been speaking about karmic payouts and karmic rebirths and how basically take your hand off it and let your higher ups handle it. You ain't gotta lift a finger. Let your higher ups handle it. Step into the newer version of you. It's gonna be challenging. But without a challenge, there is no opportunity for growth. They say all you gotta do is speak your truth. Like Granny say what you need to say, but remember your position and leave it alone. If you acknowledge something about yourself that needs to be work on it. Focus on that. Instead of all the outside noise. So, I got a quick little story about how karma, baby, is so real. So, I told y'all I had went to this store and the lady had stole money from me before. Like, she charged me twice. And I don't know why the lady got an attitude problem with me for whatever reason it may be. I don't know. Usually her other coworkers are very nice to me when I go in there. We have a nice, cute little conversation. And then I'm out. But for whatever reason, this particular lady do not like me, okay? And I'm like, I'm only in here for 5 minutes. It ain't that deep. So that particular day, she decided she wanted to double charge me. And she thought I didn't catch it. Now, I called my bank to get my money back one time before. So this was the second time. I'm not going to let you keep doing that. So I told y'all the story about when it was 3 people, 4 people, however many it was on that Sunday. And I was like, I just had got into it with 2 people. And when I went in the store with the third person, I didn't really get into it. It was that particular store and it was her manager. And me and her coworker were having a conversation and the machine had froze up. And I explained to her, I'm like, well, I'm not about to swipe my card again because when I checked my account, it said it charged over here on my end. And she saw it for herself. She said, okay, I believe you anyway. So me and her were just having a conversation, was laughing, was waiting for the manager to come to fix the screen. She was like, oh, well, she's going to have to swipe again. But she hadn't even came to look at the computer screen yet. I said, well, I'm not swiping again because I already paid for everything in this bag. I just want to make sure that y'all see that I'm clear and I can show you on my app that it went through. But because she's friends with the lady who took the money from me, she don't like me either. Listen to the crows. So she don't like me either. And that's why you can't go by he said, she said, and you got to get to know a person for yourself. So she going off what her coworker / friend said about me. So she got an attitude when she come over there and she's like, oh, the screen is frozen. She was like, ain't no receipt printout. So you going to have to swipe again. I said, well, I ain't swiping again. And I had just told the lady that I was having a good conversation with about the 2 ladies across the street and how I had an issue with them a couple times before, but that was due to racism though. And so me and her, we was having a good conversation about that and how that's something that's kind of common out here. So she was like, Nina, she was like, don't lose your blessings now. She said, listen, she said, somebody just blessed me with $20. She said, I'm going to go ahead and pay it for you. I'm like, this shit is just $20. Like, the fuck? And she was like, I'm just go ahead and pay it for you, boo. I'm like, but I already paid for it, so now you double paying for it. And she was like, well, it ain't go through and ain't no receipt. I was like, I ain't fine, whatever. You know what? God is just giving me an escape route. That's how I really had to look at it. This is my escape route. God saying, you already went off on 2 people, Nina. Get out the store. I'm giving you a way out. The lady said she gonna pay for it, so that way they know it's covered. So tell me why that was the beginning of September. I'm like, I just don't understand why people think I got any reason to lie or make shit up. Because I also told the manager, I said, well, your cashier, and she knew who I was speaking about. I said, the one with the glasses. I said, well, she stole $32 from me and she double charged me. Well, I don't know anything about that. And this and the third, I said, yeah, 'cause I was trying not to say anything because I had nothing nice to say. I was going to come in here with an attitude. And she was like, I ain't know nothing about that and this, that, and the third. And that don't come to my recollection. And all I know is the receipt ain't come out. So when the lady put the $20 in there, that was God saying, just leave out the store. So I did. So I come home ground December 3rd. That was the beginning of September. Tell me why this past weekend I checked my bank account. 'Cause I tell y'all, you're supposed to check your bank account at least 3 times a day. At least 3 times a day. I don't care. You got money coming in there or not. Check it 3 times a day, baby. And I checked my bank account. It was my second to my last time checking it for the day. And they said $20 reversal. And I looked at the date and it said September 8th and it said the name of the store. I said, see? So the lady see I won't lying. You ain't got to go back and forth with nobody, baby. You ain't got to prove nothing. When they came to me a couple months ago and said, this is your restoration season, this is what they meant when they were saying all summer, don't buy tickets to nobody's circus. It's a lot of hurt people out here. It's a lot of bitter people out here. It's a lot of people that don't even realize, yo, you need therapy, or you need some type of spiritual counseling, or you need to get closer to God, or you need to, address whatever it is that you have going on inside of you, because the way it's coming off to other people, or the way that you're treating other people, is the way that people mistreated you. And that's what that girl that took that money from you don't even realize that she did. That's why I tell y'all, I ain't got to lift a finger. I spoke my truth. I told the truth. Like, I ain't got no reason to lie to you, lady. And she must have went back there and dug through her stuff, and she saw I wasn't lying and sent the money back to me. I went in there today. That same girl was in there, and she had an attitude problem. And I paid her no mind. I went to a whole nother cashier. Paid her no mind. And the only reason why I went in there because I had to ship a package and I need to go to the ATM. But I do my best to stay out of that store and to avoid it. That's what I mean by don't be buying tickets to nobody's circus. If you are in your restoration season, you ain't got time to, like, you going to take a shower, then go outside and go play and roll around in the mud and dirt? No. Is it easy to stay, like, when you're trying to stay centered and when you're trying to, basically stay as purified as you can or elevated as you can, is it easy to stay elevated and centered? No, it's not. This is life. Life be life, and we're going to be honest over here. We're going to be 100 over here. Life be life. And some days you really ain't got the patience for it. And that's just what it is. That's part of the human experience. But they saying do your best right now to stay elevated. Even though you getting hit with test after test after test, honey, that's what solar eclipses do, boo. That's what solar eclipses do. So yes, I got my money back. I sure did, okay? I sure did. I came home. I blew one, was grounding, was praying and meditating. And that was it. I left it there. I forgot all about that shit. And then, boom. Here comes something. And I told y'all that. I think it was week before last. I said, what was stolen from you is going to be returned to you. This is that karmic payout I've been speaking about all summer. The song when I first got this message a couple months ago that was playing in my head was Fred Hammond, No Weapon. Now, they just gave me the second part of this message. They said in order to progress, you must progress, of course. But if there is no challenge, there is no opportunity for the growth. So they compared it to exercising. When some people exercise, they stop when it starts to hurt or when it burns. But that's when you actually supposed to keep going, because that's when that burning and that pain happens, that's when you're actually building up your physical muscles. So when you're getting challenged emotionally or mentally, or somebody trying your spirit, that's when you're building up those spiritual muscles. And if you stay consistent with it, you can endure more in the long run. If you stay consistent with it, you can do more than you could do before. But you can't lay down in it, or you can't stop when it starts burning or when it's hurting. You got to keep going through that thing, boo. That's why I tell y'all, push one more time, boo. It's a difference between walking on flat land and walking up a mountain. And that's what the last message was about, going from the valley to the mountaintop. The journey up the mountain requires more burning and more pain, more endurance. But it gets easier and easier if you pace yourself. Slow and steady is what wins the race, boo. Just like that tortoise in the hare. The tortoise stayed consistent. And because he stayed consistent, he was able to endure longer. And that's why he won the race. Because he stayed consistent and endured more. The cocky hare took his ass over there to go take a nap, okay? Like, oh, I got this in the bag. He ain't faster than me. He ain't stronger than me. He ain't more than this than me and more than that. He looked down on him. And little did he know, while you over there sleeping, the tortoise over there cooking it up. He headed for that finish line while you over there sleeping, missing your blessings, just like them virgins in the Bible. You should have been better prepared, okay? That hare took a nap thinking he had it in the bag. Thinking that he had his opponent beat, and he didn't. The tortoise went by divine instruction. The tortoise went by his own pace and went by divine instruction. Just like, remember, I told you I kept hearing that train. I think his name is Thomas. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can. I know I can. He going up an incline. That's the same thing, going up a mountain. I've been telling y'all, when you change the way you look at things, suddenly things will begin to change. It start with that perspective. It start with that inner belief. If you want something to grow in your life, baby, it start with you. You are the fertilizer, boo. I'm just saying. The tortoise went by divine instruction, and the hare did not. He went and took a nap. And the crazy thing is, week before last, I came across this scripture in the Bible. I said, damn. And basically, the message of this scripture is, don't stop grinding. It says, I passed by the field of a sluggard, by the vineyard of one with no sense. It was all overgrown with thistles. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall broken down. As I gazed at it, I reflected. I saw and learned a lesson. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest. Then poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like a brigand, I believe that's the word. That means the one that thinks like the hare think, oh, I got all the time in the world. Oh, I could take a nap. Oh, I could drag my feet. No, you don't. You can't. But the one that stays consistent with it, the one that's willing to learn, the one that's willing to get it out the mud, the one that's willing to go through that slow progress is the one that gets to the finish line. It's the one that gets the gold. It's the one that gets remembered. It's the one that endured the most. That hare slept on that tortoise. They saying, baby, it was people that slept on you. But you kept going and you kept going. And you kept listening to that divine instruction. And because of that, honey, you are being blessed. And that's why your life is being restored on all levels. You better bet that, okay? You better bet that. So, this is your restoration season. Endure the burning and the pain. I know. Stay consistent with it. Because slow and steady at your own pace. This is your restoration season. Not nobody else's, baby. Your harvest is loading. Go with the flow. And step into your karmic rebirth. I said, think about it. Love you, babies. Mwah.